A severely disabled Sussex man says he's been given some degree of independence for the first time in his life thanks to pioneering new technology which lets him control his wheelchair using just his eyes. 24-year-old Jono Stenberg from Peacehaven was born with cerebral palsy that means he can't control his movements. Now he's able to take some control thanks to an award-winning new system called the Eyedrivomatic. Jono told the BBC the new kit means he doesn't have to rely on others to get around.
Eyedrivomatic gives me greater independence. I can now go where I want, when I want, without having to have a donor to push me. It's much easier than using a switch to drive my chair, which is nowhere near as accurate for me than driving with my eyes.
His father Tony says it's made a real difference to his son's freedom.
Jonathan's first go was really, as you've seen him today, he took to it immediately and was grinning from ear to ear, which and really couldn't get over how easy it was compared to everything he'd tried before.
Steve Evans is part of the team who've helped develop the Eyedrivomatic system invented by Patrick Joyce. He told us it's been an incredible experience to see the independence it's given people like Jono.
When I saw the video his dad made of him using Eyedrivomatic for the first time, the smile on Jono's face made me cry. And I think it was only then that I fully appreciated the enormity of what Patrick had achieved.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm Emily Jeffrey.
An amazing, simple and cheap device that is changing lives with a great name as well. It's the Eyedrivomatic.
Eyedrivomatic has changed everything. Now I can move and drive my wheelchair with my eyes. It's utterly brilliant.
There we are. We'll have more of that in this hour. Emily Jeffrey with the news in a second. 70 minutes to 8 o'clock. I'm going to tell you a fascinating story. I think this might stay with you through the day, actually. It's the story of Jono Stenberg, who's from Peacehaven. Now, Jono was born with cerebral palsy. It means he can't control his movements at all, but his life has been revolutionised. He's been able to take control for the first time of his movement thanks to an award-winning new system called Eyedrivomatic. We'll hear from someone who's been behind the scheme in just a bit, but here's Nafisa Sanyani with some more details.
Jono Stenberg is 24 years old, but all his life has had to depend on others. Now, new technology is helping him take control. This is the Eyedrivomatic. The components strap onto Jono's electric wheelchair, allowing him to drive it simply by moving his eyes.
Jonathan's first go was really, as you've seen him today, he took to it immediately and was grinning from ear to ear, which and really couldn't get over how easy it was compared to everything he'd tried before.
Eye gaze technology uses infrared light to track a user's eye movement, so you can access a computer just by looking at the screen as if you were pointing a mouse.
Eyedrivomatic gives me greater independence. I can now go where I want, when I want, without having to have a donor to push me.
Well, I've been in contact with Steve Evans, who is the man who helped develop the Eyedrivomatic. He was the test pilot for it. And as will become clear, Steve couldn't join us live this morning, but he's prepared these answers for us. So I asked Steve about his condition.
I have motor neuron disease. It's a hideous muscle-wasting disease that stops you walking, talking, eating, and eventually effectively paralyzes you completely. Most sufferers die within 4 years when the disease prevents you breathing. However, I have survived 8 years, although for the last 4 years I have been paralyzed from the neck down and unable to speak, eat, or drink. Only my eyes move, and I use an eye-tracking computer to communicate and use my PC in any way an able-bodied person does. Picture Stephen Hawking without the huge intellect, and you're there.
Steve there. Now, the inventor of the Eyedrivomatic, Patrick Joyce, asked him, Steve, to join the team. Steve says it has totally transformed his existence.
4 years ago, I finally lost the last tiny movement in my hand, preventing me from driving my wheelchair. I was devastated. For the last 4 years I have been totally dependent on others to move me. Without this assistance I was stuck in one place. I couldn't even turn to change my view. But Eyedrivomatic has changed everything. Now I can move and drive my wheelchair with my eyes. It's utterly brilliant. I have regained a significant amount of independence. The controls are safe and intuitive with different modes for driving outside or maneuvering in tight spaces. I can now go where I want when I want.
So Jono from Peace Havens, he's one of thousands of people who could use this system because it's pretty cheap and it's quite easy to use. And Steve Evans told me what it was like to see people like Jono using the device.
Jono was one of our beta testers. When I saw the video his dad made of him using Eyedrivomatic for the first time, the smile on Jono's face made me cry. And I think it was only then that I fully appreciated the enormity of what Patrick had achieved, and it was wonderful to have been involved with the project and be able to help bring this independence to Jono's life for the first time.
Well, amazing, I think. Steve Evans, one of the men who helped develop the Eyedrivomatic. It's 30 minutes to 8. Let's round up some headlines now. Emily Jeffrey here at BBC Sussex.